Hey, welcome back. I'm Peter Cavanna here at Mattersey Hall, and we've been looking at Romans 16, the list of credits or extras that, well, quite often we just read past. But hopefully you've been enjoying this series and we've found a few little treasures or gems in it. Let me take you now to verse 13 of that chapter. Paul says this: "Greet Rufus, chosen in the Lord, and his mother, who has been a mother to me too." Now, for those of you who like a little Bible nugget, we know a little bit about Rufus. Rufus was the son of Simon of Cyrene. He certainly was. Have a look at it back in Mark 15. And so the mother that's being referred to here is the wife of Simon of Cyrene. Simon of Cyrene is from the Good Friday story. He helped carry the cross of Jesus. So this is some spiritual pedigree that we're tapping into here. But what I love is this, that Paul greets someone who has been like a mother to him. Not everyone has the ability or the blessing to have had children for all sorts of reasons, sometimes to do with life, sometimes just to do with the physical human body, etc. But here's what I find so wonderful, that God gives us all the opportunity to be spiritual parents. Can you imagine what it must have been like to be this lady? Now, we don't even know her name. We don't know her name, but what we do know is that she was like a mother to the Apostle Paul. What on earth, what a privilege to have had an input, any kind of input into that amazing man of God. I mentioned in an earlier part of this series that for a number of years I taught here at the Assemblies of God Bible College. And I had the absolute privilege to have had input into many lives of young people who were hungry for the ministry. I'm delighted to tell you that here now, Mattersey Hall Green Pastures, it's exactly the same. Young people and not so young come here because they want to serve the Lord. And we have the privilege, and it is a privilege. It's scary, but we have the responsibility and the privilege of pouring ourselves into them, so that long after we're gone, they will carry on. One time someone said to me, "Peter, where are you preaching this Sunday?" Because sometimes I travel around. And I said, "Oh, I'm preaching all over the world this week." And they said, "Why? Is that on the internet?" No, I said, because people that I've trained are now all over the world. Now, I meant it not as a boast. I was just giving glory to God. And you see, sometimes we can't achieve everything, can we? But we can pour ourselves into other people. It was Paul that went around planting the churches, casting out demons, healing the sick, preaching the wonderful message of Jesus. But it was also this unnamed lady that was doing that, because in a sense, she had poured herself into him. She'd been like a mother to him. You don't need me to tell you that in our current society, we have a real absence of dads, a real absence of mums sometimes, but a huge absence of dads. Well, it's time for us to step in. You know, when the lead actor doesn't show up, well, the understudy has to play the part. And we've got the privilege of being mums and dads to so many. And many of the people that we come into contact with day after day, Yeah, they need our advice. Yes, they need our counsel. Yes, they need our instruction. They need our practical help. But so many of them, they just need dad or mum. And sometimes we might have to play that part. We don't know this lady's name, but she was a mother to Paul. And if you think that's not important to God, it certainly was. As Jesus was on the cross and he saw John, arguably his best friend, he knew he would need a mother. And so, of course, he placed him with Mary. Don't just think that it was Mary that was being looked after by John in that story. Of course it was. But also John needed a mother too. So for all the mothers out there, the biological mothers, grandmothers, stepmothers, stepdads, spiritual dads, stand-in mothers, let's just keep serving the Lord in this way. Let's pour ourselves into those around us. It will bear much fruit for God's kingdom. I'll see you next time for one more little part looking